Hey, what's up guys? UrAvgWarGamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And today's topic is a bit different and kind of a bit concerning about the newest submarine that Wargaming has added in World of Warships. And well, that is Pan-Asian submarine. That is, I don't know how we call it, but it seems to be pronunciated as a Xing Zhongguo 14. I would just call it a Pan-Asian submarine, a premium submarine at tier 6. And this is concerning because, well, it has some of the stats which I believe will define the next generation of submarines that Wargaming will add after the shotgunning nerf that they have done. And what I meant by is that, let me go into the submarine performance data, which is back in 0.13.2 when they have nerfed the shotgunning. So this is a Reddit post in which we all know that Wargaming has nerfed submarines significantly because they just come up with this shotgunning nerf. So the torpedoes will not going to do significant damage under 3 kilometers, and after that they can do normal damage. And you can see that the numbers decreased significantly for all submarines. You can see here that U2501 all the way to Undine have a pretty significant change in terms of its damage performance reduction. Frags is also having a massive, taken a massive hit. So you can see here, it is also decreased pretty significantly. And in terms of base XP, you can also see the similar thing. So you can see here, TLDR is that damage is down about 10%, all that shenanigans. But now, let me explain something which I think you should be a bit concerned about maybe once they will release these sort of submarines. And let me show you something. So this submarine is particularly interesting, and I would just like I'm saying that it is a next generation submarine and something that they are trying to fix the problem sort of for submarine players that they have recently received from shotgunning nerf, is that they want to increase more damage output of the submarines in terms of giving them deep water torpedoes, or torpedoes that have going to have torpedo detection in a pretty absurdly low. And let me explain it, the reason why I would say this torpedo detection changes are going to be pretty much significant in the later part of newer submarine generations. Sorry for my sore throat, but I will explain why. Okay, so you can see here that the maximum damage of this upcoming submarine, this Pan-Asian submarine, has 14,600. Okay, they just recently announced it in development blog in World of Warships, and you can see it also have 6 torpedoes at tier 6, and having this much damage, but that's pretty okay. I mean, it sort of gives the same feeling as a Gato at tier 6, but now it comes up with deep water torpedoes. But what is a bit concerning is that, as you can see, the speed is 60 knots. The reload time is 40 seconds, and the range is 10.5. That's okay. But the concerning thing is going to be torpedo detection. It is 0.8 kilometers. Okay, with the 60 knots of speed and having 0.8 kilometer torpedo detection means that these torpedoes are going to be undodgeable, especially at tier 6, because battleships usually don't going to have a really good speed, and they will not going to have that insane maneuverability to dodge these torpedoes. So they will basically going to get spotted right at the at the bow or just the broadside of a battleship, and you cannot dodge them. So to put something in comparison with this Pan-Asian submarine, let me explain it with other submarines that got nerfed in terms of their shotgunning capabilities. So let me show that quickly. So as you can see, I have Gato submarine in my port, and you can see, or at least that it used to be absolutely insanely broken. Even after shotgunning nerfs, it is still very strong because their torpedoes are pretty insane, especially their alternative torpedoes. You can see that the maximum damage is insanely high, above 22,000. But what is sort of a balancing factor that Wargaming has given to them, or at least this older generation of submarines, as I call it, is that their detection is 1.9 kilometer. And their torpedo speed is definitely okay. It's nothing like really high, like Holland levels, but it's not like too low, like Black levels. Like Black has 43, 44 knots of speed, or maybe you can say there must be, some destroyers that have 50, 55 knots of speed. It's basically in the middle of that. But the detection is 1.9 kilometer, means that if they get spotted, or if anyone is still trying to shotgun you further from 3 kilometers, you might be having a good chance of dodging those, because they will have a good detection at 1.9 kilometers. So if he sort of missed the torpedoes, then you can maneuver your battleship on time. Similarly, if I can just show you the Blau has now a better alternate torpedoes, like their speed is relatively higher, the detection is 1.6. So, they have better detection, but it's not like absurdly low, like that Pan-Asian premium tier 6 submarine that I was talking about. And similarly, if I can go for I-56 is pretty much known for its shotgunning capabilities. You can see here again that the torpedo speed is again higher than Blau, but the detection is 1.9 kilometer. So the detection range is something that is a bit concerning, because I think that the next generation of submarines might going to have insanely low detection range. So the torpedo is going to be so much, unspotted for a battleship that once they get spotted, you will literally going to eat all of them, most likely, because you don't have any chance to maneuver whatsoever. But at least in the case of I-56, you do have a bit of a chance, even though the torpedo speed is higher in this case. But still, I believe that this is a bit concerning. Now, even if I go to the U-2501, again, the alternate torpedoes does have 1.9 kilometer detection. And, well, if I show you something, which you can see here, not only the torpedo damage can be increased as well with the upgrades. It can go up to like 16,000 with the upgrade. You can also increase slightly bit of its speed, so it can get to like 62, 63 knots of speed, while your torpedo detection is going to be 0.8 kilometer. It is almost insane. Like honestly, if Wargaming now decided to, sort of buff the submarines, I believe, so I think they might try to do something, or maybe just try to tinker their torpedo detection, which will going to get pretty significantly low. So those torpedoes are going to be sort of undodgeable. And not only that, this Pan-Asian submarine also have insane speed at 31 knots. Kind of reminds me of Gato, but that does have slightly higher, 35 point something knots. But remember, it has 31 knots of speed. You can also put the speed flag, so it can get up to like 32 point something. And so that is insane. So you can just go from one place to other place at tier 6 map, which is relatively small, and the battleships that are relatively not tanky at all. Like if you manage to hit 4 or 5 torpedoes, they will eventually going to get death strike, because these torpedoes are insane. So it kind of reminds me of like that this submarine is going to be sort of a kamikaze in terms of its devastation levels. Sure, it does not have really good submarine surveillance. It's only 6 kilometer, and you don't have really good torpedoes. Homing torpedoes, you can see here, you do have only low damaging 4,600 torpedoes. But again, after the shotgunning nerf, the destroyers does have a lot much more capability in taking down the submarines, and you don't want to basically go for destroy anyway. You just want to go to drop the torpedoes on cruiser or battleship. And I think this submarine, this tier 6 upcoming premium submarine, is going to be a perfect submarine for that. Like literally perfect. So I can't imagine what Wargaming will bring maybe into the coming patches with a newer generation of submarines. I don't know. Please let me know, guys. What do you really think? I think that the submarine is going to get some buffs. At least upcoming submarines going to get buffs, or they will have some sort of a problem, and now they will have a solution, because the problem is that they have nerfed the submarines in terms of their capabilities. Those shotgunning capabilities, they have gotten nerfed. Now they will just make these torpedoes sort of undodgeable. So if you do miss the torpedoes, that's your mistake. But if they make it like torpedo detection around 0.8 or 1 kilometer, 1.2 kilometer, while having 78 knots of speed, these torpedoes can't be dodgeable at all. So this is something that I'm a bit concerned that they will buff submarines in a different way. So please let me know, guys, what do you think about my thoughts on this upcoming submarine? Please let me know in the comments below, and I will catch you guys into the next one. Peace out.